Welcome once again. This is Tuesday. EXcons4Trump on live on intellectualradio.com. Go over to intellectualradio.com and watch it. EXcons4Trump. Make sure you subscribe and share. intellectualradio.com. This is Tyrone Muhammad. I'm your host for EXcons for the number 4 live on Intellectual Radio. Hey, I missed y'all last week. Our sister Carter Trust held it down. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to go to intellectualradio.com and listen to her wisdom and listen to her words. We are here again today, and I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to be alive in this world we're living in, and now even to see and witness everything that's going on in our communities, this whole election process, everything about it, and how people are in their feelings and emotions about the current Republican and / Democratic nomination for the presidency of the United States of America. I want to hear from you at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. So, Carter Trust had to fill in for me last week. Excuse me. Do y'all know why I went to jail? Yep, I went to jail. Guess what I went to jail for? Trespassing. Trespassing. They locked me up for trespassing. Okay, let me explain. 73rd or 74th is Cicero. On this side of the street is still Chicago. And across the street is clearly another city. Well, I think it's Burwin. I don't know what it is. Whatever. Start with a B. Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn. I'm coming to see y'all. I'm gonna be giving y'all a call this week. You and your corporate office. I'm gonna be giving you a call. Holiday Inn on 70, I say 74th and Cicero. The whole hotel is housing illegal aliens. I'm gonna say it again. The whole hotel is housing illegals. The Holiday Inn lights are on. There's no indication of saying signs that say trespassing signs. There's no indication that said this is a state-operated facility at this point. There's no facility that speaks on Holiday Inn being used to house illegals. I'm going to say it again. I was arrested on Holiday Inn property, not in the hotel, but on the parking lot grounds for trespassing on Holiday Inn parking lot, a public hotel. My partner and I, Al, we went to check on Holiday Inn and to ask for a room. They told us we can't come in Holiday Inn. Just like that. No, you can't. No, you can't book a room. I asked why. I don't know his nationality. I just know he was a Latino. And I'm clear he is the manager or the supervisor or agency that's responsible for the care of the migrants, the illegals, while they're in custody. It seems like a prison. While they're in Holiday Inn, because you have to walk through metal detectors to get in. And when I saw the metal detectors, I'm like, what's going on with the metal detectors? Like, this is crazy. They're so afraid of migrants bringing weapons in the hotel. He said, you can't. I don't have to. I said, why? Pretty much, I ain't got to tell you nothing. And proceeded to call the police on us for trespassing. It started with the black woman security guard. She pushed all the way through to call the police. Our beautiful sister. I'm sorry. pushed all up in my chest. You can't come in. Holiday Inn. Go look it up. Go by there. Try to get a room. 74th and Cicero. Go by there. And the whole issue for me is that I'm puzzled about this. With all the black women and children that's homeless, Earl, they have never booked a whole hotel to house black women and children in this city. You got homeless women and children living on the streets. You got homeless people still in some of the police stations stand. You got homeless people still in the airports. I guarantee you they still there. They denying our communities the same opportunities and resources that they are affording non-citizens. Non-citizens receive more resources and opportunities than struggling black people. You have 18,000, y'all have heard me say it before. We live in a government, a country that always talks about public safety and protecting civilians and protecting the community from violence and those who would commit violence. Protecting the community. You have 18,000 homeless or more, Earl, ex-cons that don't have their own place to stay after being released from prison. Over 20,000 men come home every day with really no personal space of their own, unless they are fortunate enough where they have family members that will put them up in the studio apartment, to put them up in a one-bedroom, or to even have a house for them. That's very rare when you're talking about black men who have family. I stayed in prison for 21 years. I never expected to come home to my own anything because no one in my family had the means to make sure that I'll return back to society in a comfortable position where I could get my head and my heart back right. There was nobody there for us. So when young men, and we look at the recidivism rate, audience out there, and I tell you it's over 18,000 homeless ex-cons out there or more, that it almost, you can see why a person go back to prison, because sometimes you almost forced to survive in a way. Though a lot of these guys going back to prison don't want to go back to prison, but they're looking for a means and a way out of the madness and the poverty that they have been restricted to. There's no real training program to even get them acclimated to the 15 or more thousands of jobs that's aging out in construction. We live in a government with NAFTA by Clinton and Democrat, I think. NAFTA that ship all of our manufacturers and allow jobs to go overseas. And we shipping, we importing goods made by other countries, while our country members are jobless. This is why we say ex-cons for Trump. Trump said you got to put a tariff on them if they don't bring manufacturing back over here. We are not going to accept your goods anymore. Trump say whoever owes us got to pay us. I like Trump for that. He gangster with that one. You cannot get our money and don't treat us right in pricing and gas and everything that we import. But back to Holiday Inn. There's homeless veterans out on the streets. I still, for the life of me, when the DNC was here and Brandon Johnson, his administration, removed those homeless people off of 10th City and then erected looked like a 20-foot gate for $850,000. They erected a gate to remove citizens instead of taking $850,000 and housing citizens. Do y'all hear what I'm telling y'all? They took money, tax dollars. I don't even know no more where they getting money from. I can't even tell where they getting money from. Please, somebody tell me. Because everybody always say they can't do that. That money come from here, and that money come from there, and that money come. Man, they do whatever they want to do with money. It's clear to me. And we have no say-so in the matter. We have no say-so as to how money is being spent in our community, and it's not being spent on us. It's too many women, single parents, in need of help early to pay their rent. Too many elders in need of help and assistance to pay their rent and get medicine. It's too many. It's too many homeless veterans in need of assistance. If nothing more, that should be a reason for us to do away with the current policymakers. It's not about Donald Trump. It's about our current state of affairs. It's only two candidates you can vote for. There's another one, Stein or somebody, but she can't win, or he. I don't know even know the agenda. They can't win. It's gonna come down to Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. I at least know who Donald Trump is. I don't know the other person. And it's not against her. We're not against, it's not anti-democrat. This is pro-policy that ultimately will help our communities and allow us to build strong families again. That will allow us to get back into the job market. So when I was arrested, the police rolled up. If you see part 2 of that tape on Facebook, I saw the Latino lying on me. Then I saw our sister, y'all. If I wasn't live, I'd be in jail for battery. The police responded because the black sister security guard said I hit her, said I pushed her, Earl. They responded in the way they responded because this sister that's on security said I pushed her. This sister, black woman, said Tyrone Muhammad, pushed her. That ain't even my MO. In no way or form about putting my hand on no woman. Now, I would defend myself, but that's not nothing I do. She lied on us, first of all. And if the other black woman officers responding didn't see the video for herself to say, nah, there's no battery here. And so she tried to leave it all together and say that, man, we can't, ain't nothing here. Let them go. They can leave. The other officer called in his supervisor, the male officer, took the migrant's word and said we trespassed when they told us to leave. First of all, how can you trespass on a hotel property? Especially when you don't even know that the hotel property is saying that the civilians can't even book a room. And from what I'm understanding in the law, and y'all can help me if y'all lawyers out there, certain percentages of those hotels paid for by our government, because that money came from J.B. Pritzker and them, paid for by our government, certain percentage of the housing or the hotel rooms is supposed to go to civilians. I'm thinking it's 30%. Here we have a situation, Earl, where non-citizens can be on the property in America and be protected by the police and by the government against citizens where in a facility that's a public establishment, and I become deemed trespassing as a civilian, as a citizen, as an American, I go to jail for trespassing on a public hotel parking lot. I didn't even go inside. So I was locked up for, I would say, 2 days. It felt like forever. Because when you sitting in them nasty bullpens, which are inhumane, and just to watch the level and condition of our community members, the mental health, the disinvestment of our men going in and out of these places. Most of them are stealing or committing acts of crime for resources to steal, to create an opportunity for themselves, to feed themselves. I met a young man in there that said, man, listen, I steal because I don't have a job. And I haven't seen nothing that appealed to me that I'm able or capable of getting. That's a problem. That in America, everybody else can come to this country and be all they can be or want to be in America that we can't be. With the help, support, and backing of our government. And then you know the sad part about it all? You know the sad part about that statement? Is they look at us like we supposed to accept it. They look at us like we supposed to be happy that they have taken over $1 billion, nearly $1 billion in Chicago and funded non-citizens. Either we have a mental problem or our elected officials have a mental problem. Or anybody support them have a mental problem. Or just maybe America just is crazy. Maybe the pain, the consistent violation of us as a people have rendered us non-human. We are non-human. And I don't just want to talk to y'all or talk at y'all out there. If you got something to say and you want to talk about it, 708-223-8953. The phone lines are open. That's 708-223-8953. The phone lines are open for anybody out there that want to express themselves or feel like I feel, or those that's a dissent from what I say. I ain't never telling you to believe or think like I think. But I'm telling you, ain't gonna tell me how I should think when I'm watching politicians pee on our head and tell us it's raining. I'm watching our clergy members and pastors pee on our head and tell us it's raining. One thing you ain't gonna be able to say about me is that I follow the crowd. You say what you want to say about me, and I'm gonna keep. That ain't gonna stop me from fighting and doing what I'm doing. But you can't say I follow the crowd. When I told y'all that Brandon Johnson wasn't the best fit for us as the mayor, y'all laughed at me, called me a sellout because I supported a white man, violence. I don't support no gender, no color, no nothing. I support issues. I know I can negotiate with a violence quicker than I can negotiate with special interest groups like CTU and other issues and narratives that they want to paint or they want to create. I can't negotiate with progressivism. I can't negotiate with socialism. I can't negotiate with ideologies, Marxisms. It's hard for you to break through. Them people are almost insane in their narratives. It don't make sense. Because if you hate this country so much and the progress of a country, why are you here? It's like any group. I watch groups flag their flags, run around here in pride and everything. Shut down the whole city. Tab stuff, jump on buses, jump on cars, expressing their love for their flag. But they live in America. They over here in America enjoying and even taking from us. They enjoying the American freedom that Tyrone Muhammad can't even enjoy. I can't even walk on a parking lot of a Holiday Inn, and we're going to call corporate and tell them what happened on their property. A citizen gets arrested because he's trespassing in a facility that's occupied by non-citizens. I can't, if that's not oxymoronic, I can't understand it. I don't know what it is. But I'm not going to stop fighting for our community. I'm not going to stop exposing the BS. I'm not going to stop being revolutionary in the way that I approach real agitation and real accountability for our communities. But I don't feel bad about none of it. I don't ask nobody to feel sorry for me. I chose to fight for us. I chose to be the first, the on the front line to push against the established quo. I chose to do that. Every time you know me, y'all see I push against the narrative all the time in every space. I don't care about being censored. I don't care about you taking what's belonged to us. And we still here, even after everything they've taken from us to save our sons. Tracy always said, who cares about our children? No black children. Nobody cares about black children. Man, I saw a 19-year-old and all he's talking about his guns and how he could do this and how his guns and guns and guns. Guns have become an extension of our manhood. And in a country or community that's increasingly impoverished, you put a gun, a weapon of mass destruction in the hands of a young man who has no mind or thought process on the damage that he's causing. But when we able to sit in those courtrooms and sit in those bullpens and talk to our little brothers, you can see the child in them. How that little driller killing slider that we are so afraid of, once you can get them alone and get them quiet in their own space, they'll tell you how they really feel. You can see the fear in them. They calling on mama, grandmama, auntie. They bugging their girlfriends to help them, to be there for them. We living in a country where they have nothing really. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over and over. Mass incarceration and mass graveyards across this country for black men and boys. And the unfortunate part is our black women are becoming victim of the same bullet. Y'all want to talk about Trump? Y'all want to talk about Puffy? Man, politics is all local. Look at your neighborhood. If you live in Auburn, Gresham, if you live in Inglewood, north, south, east, and west Inglewood, either way. If you live in Roseland, Lawndale, Austin, if you live in all of these cities in Chicago, And if you're an ex-felon who goes back to, I think, 7 communities in the whole city, the majority of ex-cons operate in about 7 communities that majority are released back into society. Look at your community, brothers. They send you out of prison and put you back in dilapidated communities, disinvested communities, lack of opportunity and employment in these communities with 50,000 churches, and they can't even tap in to 10% change on the bodies that return back from prison. I'm the fool for pointing this out. I'm the one that's wrong for pointing stuff like this out. I'm the enemy of the democracy for pointing this out. Because we go along and get along. It's easy to make Tyrone Muhammad your target because I ain't running from you, and I openly contest the foulness that is our social service programs, pimps, our churches, pimps, and our elected officials who are pimps to our conditions. So if I say anything, I'm seen as a troublemaker. Not as a truth teller, but a troublemaker. And because I disrupt your pimping game, you do all of your political things to block us from getting the that we need to save our children. You grown folks, you old folks out there, the Bible talk about y'all. He said the children would inherit the land, and you old folks would die off, or be dealt with. Y'all gonna die off. And if you have any children and grandchildren, you should be very concerned how you leave the country to your kids when you die. You should be very concerned how your children inherit the land. There's so many sacrifices that our ancestors made for us. Ain't no way Dr. King, Malcolm X Earl, Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, Huey Newton, Medgar Evers, Rosa Parks, Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Carter G. Woodson, Booker T. Washington would approve of $700 million of Chicago funds, the state money, government money, going to non-citizens before you fix the conditions that have permeated in our communities. Don't talk to me about no gender, anything. I don't want to hear about your gender or your color. Who is black? Is she black? Is she? She ain't for us. She said it. What more do we need to hear? I ain't gonna just do nothing to black people. One thing I've heard Donald Trump say is that the black communities they need more to give resources to those communities that need more. And you got poor white people too. You got poor black. You got in some of these rural communities, man, you got white folks still using our house. Did you know that, Earl, downstate in Illinois? You got black people with no running water in Pembroke with no electricity and no running water or gas lines. I'm telling you this for real. We can spend billions on, I think, 400, 500 billion or something, dropping bombs over in Ukraine. People killing people. I don't know how much we spent in Israel, but you better not say nothing. You better not be against it. You ain't gonna make me think 50,000, probably 50,000 now. Innocent women and children being murdered to weed out a terroristic element that they call it. And you ain't gonna make me believe that innocent Israelis being murdered is good, when violence anywhere is violence everywhere. It shouldn't be about you taking sides with the Palestinian or the Israeli. It should be about you saying, hey, if you don't stop killing each other, none of y'all get nothing else from our country, and we're gonna shut everybody down. That's what they should be saying. But see, the war apparatus, Lockheed Martin, Bourne, all those big accoutrements of war companies, they make so many billions off you. Just like we had a whole government that made your butt stay in the house during COVID and shut the restaurants down. Not that I got the freedom to catch COVID if I want to, Earl. I got the freedom to catch it if I want to. And if you got a vaccine, then give everybody else the vaccine since it's gonna protect them. And then let everybody else go out there and be stupid and get caught and die off if this is that bad. Because they got the freedom to catch it too. It's just so much stuff going on in this world. It's too much stuff happening. Last year, I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over. When y'all let y'all government get in front of y'all and y'all don't ask them no real questions. Like, how is it okay for over 150 black women and children to be murdered in Chicago, and that's not an epidemic? How is it okay for black women and children to be murdered in this city where black men are in authority legislatively? We got a whole black police chief. We got a whole black mayor. We had a black secretary of state for I don't know how long. We got a black attorney general. And y'all listening to me? We got black state reps. We got black state senators and Congress people. We got black aldermen, men. I'm talking to you men now. I'm talking to y'all right now. I'm talking to y'all. I'm real quick. I'm talking to y'all. We got black almost billionaire, millionaire black leaders in this city. Make that go viral. We got black men in this city with plenty of millions, and they don't fund nothing significant. They ain't even free. I'm telling you again, these black men with all these millions, y'all know them. Some of them done gave y'all $20 lined up at the gas station. They don't fund nothing significant to help us in our community to really push against the ills and issues caused by our enemy, common enemy. Quit talking about our babies. Black men, if you're not going to get out there and you're not going to fix the condition, I don't even know. I honestly don't even see how any black woman even wants y'all as a husband or mate or spouse or anything, because you don't do enough to protect the community. You don't do enough to even protect your children, because if any given time your child could be a victim of mass shootings or violence or home invasion or carjacking. How is that okay to not include everybody in this fight to fix the damage caused by white supremacy, mass incarceration, disinvestment, lack of proper health care, no grocery stores and food neighborhoods? How is it justifiable that everybody exploit us in our conditions and we don't even have nobody fighting to protect us, but we elect all these elected officials to serve us? The county jail is so terrible. I just talked to my little brother in Menard. They can't even get to the hospital in time. They're not able to take showers consistently. We talking about COVID and germs. A lot of brothers died in prison because of germs and COVID and the spread of that disease, of that virus. Yet they don't even let them take showers. You know why? Because we don't even care. Out of sight, out of mind. It don't have nothing to do with us until it has something to do with all of us. Good evening. This is heavy, man. This is not a weight for one person. It's not a weight for one woman or one man. It's bigger than the election. We was in this condition before Donald Trump, before Kamala Harris. How do we rationalize who we gonna keep supporting and who we gonna criminalize or who we gonna vilify? We can't listen to these the same people that got your communities looking the way they looking, telling you who to vote for and who evil. When our communities are so terrible, that's not evil. Our communities are evil right now. You telling me something that what Kamala gonna do when she get in office? What did she doing since she been in office? What have she done since she been in office? Don't tell me nothing about she lowered the cost of medicine. From what I'm understanding, Trump signed for it. He started it. Don't tell me that. All I see is diabetes centers in our community. What is it called? The Vites, or whatever that name is. We got diabetes centers, Earl, and we got bad food. We got babas everywhere. We got babies waking up, man, from the blocks, going to the corner store in the gas station, getting Taki chips, pouring processed cheese in the bag, and old ground meat in the bag, and stir it up and get them a fork. That's their breakfast, Earl. I'm the fool, right? This is our babies. We came up. Earl, you know I ate so much breakfast when I was going to school every day. I was so full by the time I got to lunch, I ain't even want to eat because I ate so many pancakes and eggs and them little donuts. Y'all know them little donuts I'm talking about, them little hot donuts with the milk. Man, Earl, you remember the hot donuts in the milk? Come on now. Some of y'all too pompous to know what I'm talking about. Because y'all had a whole family. Y'all made it had breakfast like Tracy. That little hot donut was everything to me. That little hot donut was everything to me. And then I couldn't wait to get them butter cookies at lunch. Y'all gotta be lying if y'all ain't gonna tell me y'all didn't have about 10. Y'all needed money just for them butter cookies. I need my money for my butter cookie and that cold milk. To this milk today, I wouldn't drink none of it. Different today. That milk we was drinking. Look at that little skinny little boy. I don't think they drank milk no more. They so little. But man, y'all know what I'm saying. You was able to go to school. It's not only expect the education, not only expect to get smacked in your mouth if you were disrespectful to the teacher, but you was expected to have a full belly. And even after we came from school, Earl, there was still sandwiches at the field house. If we were still hungry. Man, they don't even open the field houses for these shorties to play ping pong. These kids can't even play Atari in the field houses. There's no safe spaces for our children. The government won't even give us resources to even build centers. Y'all only knew the evil of your government. I'm talking about local politics. I'm talking about you have a governor in Illinois will stand before you and say they care about your issues. They would stand before you and say they care about public safety. They would stand before you and say they care about your family and all of the employment rates and all of that. We got 30-some thousand jobs this year. They lying. Because when they add those jobs, it ain't you that's getting those jobs. We live in Illinois right now, while them unions lock y'all out. You pay dues to get locked out of contracts. They use your money to lock you out. You pay dues to get locked out, or you pay dues not to even have a job once that project is over with. They are hiring migrants right now, training migrants. I'm talking about the unions. JoJo Boo Boo, all they got is got the frakes, and they got smash and grabs. They busting windows all throughout the communities, snatching stuff up out the car, or carjacking you, or peeling your car and stealing it. Chasing measly crumbs and potentially losing their lives trying to survive, man. It's a hustle. They at work. That's capitalism. Supply and demand. Because if they were not able to sell it, use it, then they wouldn't have it to steal. It wouldn't be lucrative or smart to steal it. Somebody has a demand for what these boys is stealing. There's a demand for it. If you deal with the person who asking for it, who's buying it from them, then there will be no reason for them to do it. Because they'll just be practicing. Because they will have no company or corporation or shop or fence to take their product. But I don't see enough fencing people going to jail like I see our brothers are going to jail every day for stealing or smashing and grabbing. And those businesses that complain about the smash and grab don't contribute a fraction of their profits back into the surrounding communities to serve these young folks. 708-223-8953 is that live number. 708-223-8953 is that live number. If you have any comment, thoughts, suggestions, and just general salutations. But I'm telling you, we are just getting started, because the moment this election is over, we've already planned on targeting these wards, these state rep positions, these state senate positions, and we removing some people. We got to show them. And I'm compelling. I'm reaching out. I'm calling out to everybody in these neighborhoods to start exercising your right to the vote, to control the legislators in your communities, and to expose these bootleg pastors who got these so-called social programs that doesn't properly serve you. I'm telling you, we got so many issues to talk about that we don't have to ever touch on Puffy. We ain't got to even talk about Trump or Kamala. If we deal with the issues in our community, that will inform you of who you should vote for. That would inform you. Look at your environment. Ask yourself why you keep voting for these people over and over. Just look at your environment. Some of these neighborhoods, I feel so sorry for them, man. The depression that our babies are under living in these communities with doggone weeds growing out of concrete. I ain't say rose. I say they got weeds. We can't even use the resources to put these young people to work to clean the weeds up out of their neighborhoods so they can have a sense of pride about where they live. They brought the migrants in to get rid of you. Now, you can act like you don't hear me. The illegals are here to black people. I'm here talking about voting for her, the boule class and the bourgeoisie class of black people. They are in position. They got a little job. They got their little houses. They got all the opportunity. They've been to college. They educated. But little JoJo, little homie, y'all out there, they are y'all true enemies. I'm telling you, right next to you, those individuals, those elders, those boule class that leave y'all in y'all condition, that go to these parties, these mixers, these corporate retreats, and come back to these neighborhoods and do it all over again, are your enemy. They are the enemy of their own nephew, cousins, and uncles. Some of them are their ex-boyfriends. I'm telling you, and vice versa. It's not no gender in this. Men doing the same thing too. Educated men is dropping the ball on the communities they come from. They dropping the ball. This stuff sometimes is probably just too heavy for y'all to understand. But I ain't going to be doing this forever. I'm telling you now. I ain't going to be doing this forever. It's only so many times you could punch on a punching bag, Earl, before it get a hole in it. Even if it's made of leather. Then they start taping it up. And before long, the tape don't even hold it no more, Earl. You got to just get a new bag. And ultimately, that's what's been happening to us. We wear all our punching bags, which are our freedom fighters, our truth tellers. We wear them out. And then say, look at them. Look what happened to them. History has proven it. I see it all the time. Most of them men that fight for us or fought for us, and we don't fight back now, we enjoy even the negativity of it all. We enjoy. Them men died broke, a lot of them, desolate, families destroyed. Because of the hardship that it takes to save a broken people. That 400 plus or more years of slavery created. And the slave mentality that we still under, and the crab in the barrel, is real. I mean, I see it every day, even in the business that we created. 75% of my customers are white. You hear what I said, Earl? 75% of my customers in the business that we've created are white. We don't support black-owned businesses. And then we always talk about why they black-owned businesses closed. Because we're not supporting each other. We gonna be good. I'm gonna be good. But we can't leave our children out there with no guidance, no nothing. These social programs is destroying us because these guys get in these positions of jobs and they don't speak up for you no more. They stop speaking up for you once the political operatives bring them into the fold. See, we got a different type of stuff going on here, Earl. We're looking at Hollywood and what Puffy and this entertainment space, but there's a political space that does the same thing with these parties and these socialites, these events. They showing up, they doing stuff. They got stuff on each other. They all got stuff on each other, playing in your face. And you're wondering why they can leave one job, the next administration go down state, then the next thing change, and they come back and they work for the next, they come over here, even if they have success, then they go down there because it's cronyism. Why you think they call Chicago the most corrupt city in the world? I think it's the world, ain't it? Or it just say America. Because I don't know the other world. I don't know the other countries and how corrupt they are. But I know America is. I'm talking about Chicago in America is corrupt. The most. We keep talking about Trump. This is a Democratic-led city and a Democratic-led state. It isn't about Democrat or Republican. It's about the policies that affects our community. It's not about that. I don't care. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I fight for Democrats, and I vote for a Republican. I vote for a Democrat and fight for a Republican. It doesn't matter if it's truth. I've been called all types of names for having my position, but I don't care about that. I take on positions that is not popular. And if you smack somebody or you injured them and you telling the truth, they never let you forget that. They work to take stuff from you. But you ain't gonna say I lied. I bet you ain't gonna never say that. You ain't gonna say I lied, and you ain't gonna say I'm disrespectful. You ain't gonna never be able to say that about me. You can say, oh man, he radical. Oh man, he do too much. Or, oh man, he don't play the game. And that's what it is, man. And we got to call Earl. I don't think it's showing up over here. Let me see. Hit it. Hello, caller. Welcome to EXcons4Trump Live.
Man, how you doing, man? My name, my Wooly Menka, man.
Yes, sir, Willie.
I'm an advocate of Tyrone Muhammad, man. I've been down with him for a minute. I've contributed to the cause, and man, he my brother, and I love him, man. I want to share some truth. I want to speak some truth to power, though.
Yep, go to it.
Caller, welcome to EXcons4Trump Live.
Cut your radio down.
Okay.
I've
been down with him for a minute. I've contributed to the call. Can you cut it down?
Yeah, cut it down. Try not to listen to yourself on the reverb.
Okay. Man, what's up? What's up, Malik, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm just fighting this fight, man. I was born to do it.
Man, salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Well, we already know, man, that the Democrat Party, the Republican Party, they both one bird of the same feathers, right? You know that as well as I know that, right?
Yes, sir.
What I want to say is that black people, I understand the Venezuelans, I understand everything that's going on in this country, right? But I just want to isolate black people for a minute, because I can look in the face of any human being and recognize they struggle if they trying to escape poverty. So the Venezuelans here trying to escape poverty, but at the same time, they stand on the blood in the back of me and your ancestors. Yes, that 14th Amendment, everything that's been passed, and any immigrant that ever done came to this country, they stand on our shoulders. So when we talk about the Republican and the Democratic Party, that was a time in this country where black folks didn't have a party. If we go back to the 1800s, they were slaves. And then after they stopped being slaves, they ran into Jim Crowism. And then after Jim Crowism, that's when parties and all that other mess started to form. Mm-hmm. So I support you 100% because I am you. I come from where you come from. And I pledge allegiance to Mansour. Almighty Mansour. You know how we go. And you the brother that done started a scholarship for him. So, you know what I'm saying? I can disagree with you on certain aims and on certain levels, but I never put me in your business out in the street because I'm man enough to come say, hey, I got your number. I'm gonna come talk to my brother. They trying to divide everybody just like they did Booker T. Washington, Marcus Garvey, and W.E. Du Bois. But I know one thing for sure, and you know it too. Trump is not a felon like me and you are felons. Trump is considered a lawbreaker. And being a lawbreaker, he haven't been affected by the bell hook psychological dissertation saying that, hey, black people got a gene in them that make them prone to commit crimes. He ain't been affected by that. But as long as you meeting with him in the spirit of Marcus Garvey met with the Klan. Elijah Muhammad met with the Nazis. As long as you meeting him with that spirit and say, hey, we're an independent party. Hey, we got a black agenda. And if Trump willing to finance that, hey, that's what we're gonna do. So I want you to know, man, that you still got soldiers supporting you, standing with you. And I think I told you years ago, the battle that you fight is not for the faint-hearted, brother.
Absolutely.
All right. Then I'll leave you with
reach out to me, man. Reach out to me.
I'll be in Chicago next week for 4 days, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm with you. And whatever you want me to do as a servant to the community, I ain't looking for no finance. We know Drew Ali said take finance to uplift the nation, but I'm standing with my brother on the righteous cause, and I'm gonna be on the front line with you. And whatever your agenda is, that's my agenda. And whoever your enemies is, they my enemy.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, brother, for calling in and text me up, man, later on. And like I said, I'll see you when you get here. But that's the whole move. We gotta be about the country. That's what I've been doing. Is it on? Okay, good. So that's what I'm on. I've been on the business of unifying across the country. I'm gonna say this real loud and clear to our ex-felons out there. We are a perpetual underclass. We are the only class and caste that's perpetually discriminated against by our government, by everyone. Not only that, we are 20 million or more in the country. That's ex-felons. Those have been just as involved or just as impacted together with the 20 million is over 80 million. Their job is to stop us and to keep people like me from inspiring and unifying the masses of disinvested individuals. That right there is dangerous. I don't even understand. I don't even think y'all even understand how dangerous that is. I don't even think my family understand how dangerous that is. I don't think my loved ones and friends really understand how dangerous that is to be sitting in a position, them talking about history, and you see little men like a Fred Hampton, them 20-some years old, dead before they ever get their potential. Destroyed by our own government and shot up by the police. And there's no real investigation on who did and how and why and what. No real doggone arrest. Where they'll come back and get you 100 years later and you get your family and sue your family for doing something like that. We haven't got justice for our freedom fighters. We haven't gotten justice for our freedom fighters. Our government owed Dr. King and his family. Our government owed them our reparations. Our government owned Malcolm X because you didn't protect them when you knew that what they were speaking in the climate of hate and the climate of racism could get them killed, even though they had the right or the freedom to speak it. And it's no different now. You can't say you for anybody but Kamala and not feel the sting from your own ignorant people These the same people that want you to respect their right to their everything. Got my right to my gender. I got my right to have my abortion. I got my right to this. I got my right to do that. But then you don't even have the constitutional right to your own vote without feeling like you being bullied. I'm going to say it again. If you openly say you for anybody other than who they say they for, you are enemy to them. How? When we live in the greatest country in the world that gives us a so-called free speech. Speech ain't free, y'all. Speech gets you murdered. Speech gets you dead. Speech gets you in poverty. Speech get doors closed on you. Speech is so powerful that they even got Jesus killed, according to the book. Speech get all the prophets of God killed. Marcus Garvey, Noble Ali, Elijah Muhammad, all of them. Speech, they speaking about your freedom and your inevitable rise. They're going to always seek to stop the rise of the Black Messiah. COINTELPRO is going to always be live and active because this is not our world we living in. We fighting with wickedness and principalities and rulers in high places. While we busy fighting each other over crumbs, they're giving away our wealth. They're giving away our ancestors' land. They're giving away our mothers and grandmama homes they fought for. And ain't no control of no businesses in our neighborhood that we control, rather. We got issues. We got problems bigger than them two people running for 4 years. This has happened to us for 400 years. We talking about 4-year office, and we there almost killing each other and tearing each other apart. And we've been victimized by a system for 400 plus. EXcons4Trump Live on Intellectual Radio. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhammad, and we'll be back Thursday with the same energy, the same spirit, the same faith, saying to you, vote your interest, vote your choice, but vote correctly. Look at your communities and let your communities determine who should be the next leader in your community to guide you out of the conditions that they created. With that being said, thank you for tuning in, and I love you. Everything look better in black. Everything look better in black.